What's shake, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Shay, and today it's time for the August TBR. And you may be thinking that you haven't really heard from me that much in July, or June for that matter, and there's a reason for it. I decided to live my best life this summer as me and the family. We're going on vacation, we're having fun, enjoying school, being out. School starts back next week, and so we're wrapping that kind of life up. I have still been reading. I have had two of the best reading months in my entire life. I read the most pages per month in my entire life in June and July. And if you want to know how the TBR went in July, I picked 7 books out of the jars and the wheels, trying to decrease my own TBR. And I read 5 of those. I DNF'd 1 of those, and it's the last day of July now, and I did start the last book. I will carry that over into August, and I will complete that book if it's not a DNF. Now, in July, I started doing my TBRs differently in an attempt to get my own TBR down, so I changed all the jars and added some wheels to where I'm just looking at my owned books. Okay, so I'm trying to intentionally read just owned books to get that number down. I'm trying not to buy as many books, but I will say that I do have subscriptions from book boxes coming in each month. So I'm trying to stay in the negative from where my purchasing and my reading are going. So hopefully that owned TBR number continues to dwindle. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing this month. I am going to pull 2 books out of these jars over here, which is series and owned jars, and hold myself accountable for reading 1 of those. I also have wheels that have a backlist, which has 20 books that have been on my TBR the longest. I have a new releases wheel, which has all the 2025 releases that I own. I also have a self-published wheel, which has every self-published book that I own, and also a Herkiad wheel. If you don't know what Herkiad 2.0 is, and I am participating in it this year, I'm so excited. I will link all that down below from Quarty, who runs this readathon. It's been super fun. I filled out a lot of the board, and I want to, and I'll talk about that more when I do kind of a wrap up best books kind of thing. I promise I will do a June and July wrap up, and it will be for your viewing eyes in the month of August. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with these jars so I can make this video short and sweet and to the point. So we'll go ahead and pull out of the series jar. I did finish 2 series in the month of July, so I feel like I'm doing better. Let's see. Okay, 1. Okay. This is Susan Ryland. This is, I can't remember the first book, the murder book, and I can't remember what it is. I don't remember what the next book in the series is. I'll pop it up here. But that's a change of pace. Would love that. Okay. And here we go. Okay, so this is the Warlord Chronicles, and I am missing the 3rd book in the series. I gave the first book 3 stars. It was fine. I may have given it 4 stars at the time, but I really felt like I didn't jive with it as much as I wanted to, so I gave it 3 stars. The 2nd book was a 5-star read for me, and then I'm hoping this 3rd book continues on in that path. It's been a minute since I've read out of that series, and so hopefully I can find a brief recap or something of the sort so that I can continue on and know what I am reading. We will move on to owned jar. There are so many books in here, they're all tumbling out. Okay, 1. Okay, this is The Songbird and the Heartstone. So I own this one on audio. This is the first book in the 2nd duology that Carissa Broadbent duology, and I can't remember what that duology is, or name of that series is, but it starts with Serpent and the Wings of Night. It's a romantasy. Okay. And last one, this one right here. Oh, The Throne of Ice and Ash. And this, I think, is by J.D.O. Rosell. I already have a series going on by J.D.O. Rosell, but I want to read everything that he has. So There we go. So now we are going to pick up my wheels. Let's start with the new releases wheel. I will spin it twice and we'll kind of see what we get. Okay, I hope this focuses. Here we go. It didn't focus, but Gifted and Talented. That's by Olivia Blake. The only other thing I've read by Olivia Blake is I actually read The Atlas 6 not that long ago, which is an interesting read. I'm interested in reading this. I have the Fairy Loot Special Edition. I don't know what it's about, but there we go. Okay, I don't know. Focus, 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 focus. Okay, The Favorites. I've heard so many things about The Favorites and how everybody has loved it, and it sits on my shelf. I got the Book of the Month edition back when I was looking to close out my Book of the Month account, and I still had credits, and so I have it. It's over there. I do want to read it. I've never read anything by Lane Fargo, but I'm interested. I'm interested in this one. Let's go ahead and now move on to my backlist wheel, which is here, and hopefully it will focus. I don't know if y'all can see that. The Girl of Fire and Thorns. That is a super backlist YA title that I've owned for 5,000 years. Ray Carson, I think, is who it's by. But that's an interesting pick. I don't read a lot of YA anymore, but this is one that I'm still interested in reading. So, okay. And I don't know how to make this focus. Okay, The Lies of Locke Lamora, another book that I've owned for 5,000 years. Of course, every book in this backlist I've owned for 5,000 years and haven't read. So, The Lies of Locke Lamora. Okay, now we are going to move on to the self-published wheel. I have a lot of good books on here. I own a lot of self-published works. I am moving right towards that goal of reading more self-published books, and I'm tackling it and doing well. So, here we are. We are going to do this again. Okay, Contractor, which I don't own on audio. I think it's a YA book. I can see the cover in my head. It has some green on it. I think this is the one I'm thinking of. It has a symbol on it and it's green. And I can't remember who it's by. A puppy. Okay. Mihalis. I also own this one. I think it's YA as well. It has a being with wings. It's like a human with wings on it that I see the cover in my mind. I also own this one on audio. I don't know if I said that, but I popped this cover up here. And on to my Herkiad wheel. I have removed the prompts that I completed in July. I was able to complete a significant number of prompts in July, and that's because of the amount of books that I read. However, going forward, I don't think I'm going to be able to do as much now that school's back in session and all of the things. So we will see how that goes. But these two prompts for the rest of the jars and the wheels, I picked two, but I only hold myself accountable for reading one. For Herkiad, I am putting these books in stone. I am having to read for these two prompts that I draw from Herkiad because I'm trying to complete it, the reading challenge, and if I didn't hold myself accountable, I would not probably complete it. But here we go. We are going to do the Herkiad wheel. Okay, Jewish heritage. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to read for this. I will pop it over here. And challenge. The challenge space means that you have to pick 10 books from a challenge that you challenge yourself to do. And the one that I have tentatively in my head is to give a second chance to genres or authors that I've previously read and maybe dislike. So I don't know if that's going to stay the case or if I'm going to do something different. Romantasy comes to mind. I don't and haven't jived with a lot of romantasy that I have read. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe I can do a series redemption or try to read books I've DNF'd in the past. I don't know. It's an interesting thought process, and I'll think about it more and probably put what I'm going to read for this here, or you'll just see when I wrap up my reads what I decided to read for this. This is an interesting thing in my head. Okay, so that's going to be it for the August TBR. Let me know what you guys plan to read, and I will catch you guys in the next one.